Hi everyone, my name is Holly, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about my most read authors. So if you go on the Goodreads website and you click on My Books and scroll down to the bottom, and on the left side there is another tab that says the most read authors. It will give you a full list of your top read authors to your most least read authors, and this is a really cool thing to check out. I've known about this for quite some time, but I haven't checked it out in a really long time, so I thought it would be really fun to go on Goodreads and check this out because, like I said, it's been a very long time and I'm really curious on what my most read authors are. So I have a top 5 list here, but I have a lot of authors that share these places. Like number 3, there's 3 authors for that place. So let's go ahead and begin with number 5. So 2 authors share the 5th place on my list, and that is Ransom Riggs, who wrote the Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children series, which consists of 4 books. And the second author that shares the 5th place is Rachel Hawkins, who wrote the Hex Hall series, which consists of 4 books as well. I absolutely love these 2 authors, and I loved both of these series. Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children blew my mind. I know a lot of people thought that it was pretty slow, but I didn't think that at all. It was really eerie, and Ransom Riggs has such a unique way of storytelling, and I did watch the movie to this series and I hated that, unfortunately, but I love the series so much. So it's totally understandable that I have read all 4 books in this series. One of them includes the novella, so it makes perfect sense. And for the Hex Hall series, I loved the series as well. It actually follows a teenage girl who's a witch, and she ends up going to a witchery wizard school, which was really fun to read. So yeah, I can see why both of these take that 5th place. Up next is number 4, and only one author takes this spot, and that is Tahira Mafi, who wrote the Shatter Me series, and I have read 5 books from her. And actually all of them take place in the Shatter Me world. 3 of them from the Shatter Me series, and then 2 of them from novellas. I'm actually a little bit picky when it comes to novellas, but if it's from series that I absolutely adored, like 5 stars, then I will for sure read them. So that's where Tahira Mafi has 5 books on my shoulders. Up next is place number 3, and I have 3 authors that share this slot. And the first author is Rae Carson, who wrote the Girl of Fire and Thorn series, and I have read 6 books, and all 6 books are actually in this world. 3 of them being from the Girl of Fire and Thorn series, and the other 3 being novellas. This is actually one of my all-time favorite series, so I very much highly recommend reading it. It is so good. The next author that shares this slot is Leigh Bardugo. I have also read 6 books by Leigh Bardugo, 3 of them consisting in the Shadow and Bone series, 2 of them being in the Six of Crows duology, and then 1 of them being a novella. Leigh Bardugo is a very magical and amazing woman. She creates such amazing stories. They're always really dark and eerie, and I absolutely love reading them. So it's obvious that she would be in my top most read author list. So the next author that shares this 3rd slot is actually a surprising one because I was not expecting it at all, and that is Tim Seeley, who wrote the Revival graphic novel series. The reason why this one is a shock to me because I actually did not enjoy the graphic novel series Revival all that much, but I actually ended up reading 6 of the books in this graphic novel series, which is kind of strange to me because I ended up giving all 6 of them 3 stars, so they were kind of average, but I guess I really wanted to know what happened in the end, and I actually stopped reading them because the next issue wasn't coming out for a while, and I'm sure it's out now, but I probably won't be continuing with it. It just doesn't have my attention anymore, And yeah, it's really strange that this author has that third slot. Very surprised indeed. So the next place is number 2, and only one author holds the slot, and that is Cassandra Clare, who wrote the entire Shadowhunter world. So I have read a total of 9 books so far by Cassandra Clare, and I say so far because I actually own 4 or 5 books by her that I haven't read yet. So she is definitely going to be moving up in this most read author list for sure. I actually have a whole shelf dedicated to Cassandra Clare because she is just queen. I have given all of her books 5 stars because they are just that good, and I have yet to go on to the Dark Artifices series. I'm not quite sure why, probably because I don't want to be one of those readers who reads the end of Lord of Shadows, ends up on a cliffhanger, then having to wait until 2019 for the next book, because that would suck. I would much rather wait until 2019 to start that series because I don't want to be one of those heartbroken people who have to wait. Alright, so we have come to the number 1 place of my most read author list, and this one is no surprise because it's seriously at the top of everyone's most read author list, and that is Rick Riordan, the author of the whole Percy Jackson universe. I guess that's what I'm gonna call it. He is seriously one of my all-time favorite authors. If you haven't read the Percy Jackson series, please do. You won't regret it. Yes, it's middle grade, but trust me, it is oh so good, especially if you love mythology. It is amazing. It will blow your mind, and you will fall in love with his characters. It's just so good, and it makes so much sense that he is at the top of my list because I have read 10 books by Mr. Rick Riordan, and I don't have any regrets. And it's kind of funny because he is still coming out with books like twice a year, and I still own 3 books of his that I haven't read yet. So he will probably stay at the top of my TBR. I will be reading his books forever, and you should be too. Alright, so that was my most read author list. Tell me down below some of your most read authors because I would love to know. And until we meet again, happy reading.